Hello everybody, my name is Daniel Richardson, and I'm the WCPW review guy. And yeah, I got a lot to say on this episode, not gonna lie. I want to get this out of the way right off the top of the show, because I feel like the event itself was incredible. I mean, I loved it. Thought it was really good. Very positive show, both in trying to convey the message that pro wrestling doesn't tear people apart, it brings them together. And shouldn't be lumped in with this hate speech nonsense. However, and once again, it was a great, and not just that, aside from that, the wrestling was really good. Like, seriously, from top to bottom, every show was solid, or every match was solid. But immediately following the show, a couple incidents went down that kind of brought the mood down. And I don't want this review to be a down review. I don't want people to watch this depressed. Because once again, a hell of an event. A hell of an event. But I do feel like I have to address, you know, those things. Man, so Blampier goes out there and he gives his big, I'm calling Blampier, I'm sorry, Plumpy's stupid, I'm not doing it. That's their rules, not mine, I'm not following it. Anyway, but he goes out there and gives, you know, this incredible speech. And it's not just him, once again, anybody who's been watching this channel, and not just this channel, but multiple channels that, you know, all part of the WCPW faithful, just everybody out there has been, you know, trying to rally this whole fight back movement. And, you know, he gives this incredible speech, an incredible night of wrestling, and, you know, and great storytelling throughout, great athleticism. It was just a perfect event. And then YouTube decided to just shut it down. They had a live feed, and we were lucky enough to get the live feed right there. But then I guess during the replay, before it can actually come up, they got a warning, a strike against them, if you will, WCPW. Or I think it's Walk Culture Wrestling. I can't remember which channel they aired. I think it was Walk Culture Wrestling, actually, now I'm thinking about it. But anyways, they got a strike against them, and I guess their privilege, if you will, to broadcast live has been revoked, which just, it's ridiculous. I mean, it'd be different if he was up there leading a, and I don't want to keep, but you know, if he was like leading like a hateful charge. But no, he has been very peaceful about it when Blampier did his. And that's the thing, is like, it would be easy for all of us just to start typing, you know, YouTube, you know, F this, that, you know, whatever. It'd be easy to do that, and nobody really has. And if they have, it's been a small part. Everybody I've been seeing has been very just direct with their message, without using profanity or any other kind of hateful things. That was the thing, it's counterintuitive to the cause. And so the fact that like none of that was even there, but they considered it spam. And I'm guessing what probably irked them, which proves that, you know, our voices are being heard. They're just not caring. They're just not listening or not wanting to give us a shot. But I'm guessing, because I know I was, and almost everybody that I follow or am friends with on Twitter was doing the same thing. Every time that I would put anything, and it had nothing to do really with YouTube or the fight back cause, but anything that, you know, wrestling related. Like, oh my lands, the ending, that was crazy. It'd be hashtag WCPW, hashtag fight back, and then at YouTube. Bam. And everybody else is doing the same thing. Letting everybody know that there are numbers here. There are people who strongly care, who have a passion about professional wrestling. I'll tell you right now, just on a personal level, this has nothing to do with anybody else at all. Like, for me personally, even wrestling aside, this channel was created because I was a fan of the Walk Culture guys. Now, you guys know this, I've said this a million times, I'm sorry, I'm going to do it again, but I was just a fan of the channel. When I found they would make their own promotion, I was excited, because I was like, alright, guys who, like me, love professional wrestling, know how things should be ran. Like, we were constantly like, WWE sucks because they don't do this, they should be doing that. So finally, people who can finally put their mouth where their money is, or their money where their mouth is, make their own promotion, did it. And I was like, I'm watching this. Like, I want to see. And so even went out, put my ugliest suit on. Not this one. This is nice. Put my, you know, suit on, got my fake rock band microphone, and stood in front of my utility closet and started making videos. And that was almost a year ago when I started doing this. Honestly, didn't think it would catch on at all. Was just doing it more just for myself. And I know that sounds like ridiculous, but it is true. I was just having fun, and then it caught on. And it's not just a local thing, it's a global thing. And it's not just like, oh, he's the guy on YouTube, and you know, it's not that the people I have become friends with, they're not just friends with the WCPW review guy, they're friends with Daniel Richardson. There are people who are actually on my real Facebook account, not just the WCPW Facebook page I have created for this show. My legitimate personal life Facebook account, I have made friends through the show on a worldwide level. The UK, Spain, Brazil. It's credible, and it's just like, dude, I am a little fat fuck from Bedford, Indiana. I'm in Hillbillyville, USA. I have no money. This is the cheapest show I can produce. Like, seriously, the fact that I have a little intro that someone else made for me, that's about as high-tech as I can get. This is a very low-rent thing, and yet it's not the fact that it's the show. It's the passion that we all have for a common company, the WCPW. Pro wrestling has brought us all together, and I feel very fortunate about that. I really do. Like, it is just, I think it's just really cool that, you know, I get to talk to these people from everywhere. And once again, I don't feel like it's just the YouTube show. It's just like I'm knowing people on a personal level right now, and it's a great thing. And you know why that happened? Pro wrestling, baby. Pro wrestling. I don't know. I still, to right now, I don't know what the hate speech was. I don't know who did it. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't know what happened. That's just ridiculous and sad that, like, someone out there making stupid comments and just happen to have, you know, advertisers attached to them is ruining it for everybody else. The other thing that's really sad about this is Fight Back was made for free for the YouTube community. It was made for, you know, everybody who doesn't have the extra. And they even said they're going at a loss. You know, they literally produced the show at a loss. You know, they weren't making any extra money on it, but it was to prove a point, to send a message that, you know, it's not about the money or anything like that. It's about community. It's about peacefulness. It's about bringing everybody together, not ripping them apart, as Blampier put it. And now that message, you can't even see it on YouTube, unless you've used fortunate enough to watch the live feed, because it has been ripped from there, which is ridiculous. This brings up a lot of questions right now. It is on, if you do happen to have extra, it is on the extra channel now. And that's the thing too, I was really kind of worried, because I'm thinking to myself, like, I was fortunate enough to happen to be home this weekend during the time of Fight Back. Normally I got stuff going on. Like, I rarely anymore get to watch the event, because usually they happen either on Friday, which Friday is my worst day, or I just happen to have something come up on Saturday, and so I can't watch it on Saturday. So this is like the first time in a long while I got to sit there and be like, all right, I get to watch it live with everybody else. And if I hadn't, you know, and once again, fortunate enough, it's on extra now, but I'm thinking to myself, like, people who can't afford extra, who, like, you know, who was like, this is it, this is what I'm gonna watch, but I can't be home when it comes on, it's alright, I'll catch it, you know, when I get home later, because it's gonna be on YouTube. They don't get the privilege to do that now. Like, it's been ripped out of their hands. And that's just ridiculous. And I'm thinking to myself, as you watch the video, watch it. What's bad about that? There is nothing wrong with Fight Back. It's YouTube just, what can you say? It's like a child who doesn't want to play right and take their ball and they go home. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. What upsets me the most is that there are tons of people. There is over, I watched the video that Robbie Mills made this morning. And, you know, he said that the last count that he checked was like 25,000 or something like that have signed a petition. There's a, you know, so people worldwide signed this petition. People have been making videos. People have been, you know, messaging directly to YouTube, and they're ignoring all of that. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that they are in a tough situation. I mean, once again, the hate speech, yeah, I understand it. You know, when Subaru or, you know, Sony Pictures or Tide is like, listen, I don't want my videos on this, you know, so right there, I can get the initial reaction of like, oh, wow, you know, yeah, no, that's right, pro wrestling altogether. I'm still watching channels on, or videos on WWE, and they still have advertisements. And I know they're cutting, I know it's the thing, but I'm like, you know, what's the point? What's the difference then? Like, why cut the revenue down if you're still showing the advertisements? It's like, well, they're still being associated with pro wrestling, so what's the difference exactly? Like, I don't know. I just don't know the inner workings here. I just feel like to make a broad stroke, to make this sweeping generalization of, you know, all pro wrestling is nothing but hate speech, that's ridiculous. Come on. I mean, that's just insane right there. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I'm telling you right now, do not stop the good fight. I mean, I don't care at this point. I mean, they already took away Fight Back on YouTube. They're not going to stop at this point. we shouldn't either. Now do it in a peaceful manner. Once again, and I'm just speaking behind myself, I am no way affiliated or associated with What Culture Pro Wrestling at all. This is a very unofficial capacity right here. That's the only association I have with them is a fan. I'm just a fan. That's all I am. Don't stop. Refrain from using profanity, because once again, we don't want to send that message. That will hurt the cause more than anything else. It's like when you're at work and there's a suggestion box and you're just like, I hate the way things are going, and you just write profanity on like the comment card and you put it in. You know it's just going in the trash, right? Like you're anonymous, like, well, I ain't gonna say my name, but blanky blanky blank my blank, pop it in there. It's going in the trash. You're not gonna take it seriously. It's just they're just not. So same thing here. If you start trying to rally together and go in a hateful, negative direction, guess what? You're proving them right. They're gonna be like, oh, this is what pro wrestling is breeding right here. Good thing we shut it down. We don't go negative with it, we go positive with it. We show what's good about it. Guys, there are tons of videos out there with the hashtag #FightBack where people are trying to get that message across. The petition's still out there. Keep sharing it. I know it sounds like it's getting repetitive after a while. Keep sharing it. This is what it's all about, guys. This is what it's all about. We are in this together. We are all standing up. And once again, it shouldn't be like this, but it is. And we can't just give up right now. WCPW needs us. They need us right now. And for everybody out there who doesn't have extra, you need it. I mean, right now, we got the extra subscription. We can watch Fight Back right now if I wanted to. It's for you guys out there who don't have the extra. If you don't want to fork over the money, fine. But you gotta stand up. You gotta fight with us. We gotta come back with this. So it's all I'm gonna say about the situation. But yeah, it's just. We got to keep going, guys. The fight's not over. The fight is not over yet. So, the other thing I want to touch on is because once again, these problems seem so small compared to the world's problems, and I'm not one to ever get on my soapbox and preach about this, but there was a horrible situation in London last night where someone got in a van and they were like driving up and hitting pedestrians on the London Bridge, and then further down the bridge, people were being stabbed and there were like gunfire. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, what is going on? And once again, I felt bad trying to do this Fight Back rally, and I'm thinking to myself, like, there's so much worse things going on. And I'm like, that's what YouTube should be fighting against right there, is the world's violence. Not scripted stuff that's, for entertainment purposes, but there's real problems out there. I don't know, but my thoughts go out to everybody, who's affected by this. I hope everybody, who was involved. I don't know the full details. I keep looking it up, and it's just like I'm getting vague little clips. I don't know exactly numbers or anything like that, or what actually, if there was any casualties or anything like that. I hope not. I hope everything, worked out good. I hope everybody's home safe. But once again, it just seems like, right now more than ever, we all need some kind of entertainment. We all need some sort of, we need something. Some people it's WCPW. Some people it's movies. It don't matter. We need something that, you gotta have something positive in your life. So, I mean, that's what Fight Back was all about to me. So, hashtag Fight Back. Don't let the good fight in. Alright, well, I wasted 13 minutes of your life right there, and I apologize. I just had to get that off my chest. Let's get into the actual review, shall we? Before I actually get started, sorry, one more time, just one more last thing. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple people. Charlie Crothers and WWE Soft Balor. Soft Balor I've been on YouTube. You guys on a little channel and everything. We're start talking to this guy. And Charlie Crothers, really cool kid. Been talking to him a lot, WCPW Raid on Twitter. And once again, another guy I consider a friend. Like I said, I wouldn't have talked to this guy outside WCPW. It brought us together. This is what it's all about. But this kid's a huge fan of WCPW. Actually attended the show that we're about to do right now, Fight Back. So yeah, just a real cool guy. Just want to give a shout out to these guys. So there you go. Let's get to Fight Back, shall we? We kick things off. We got, well, we start things off actually on a little bit of a solemn note. They did a 10-bell salute, if you will, in memorial of the Manchester tragedy. So, that's how we kind of kick things off. But, it was in the fighting spirit. Once again, it's all about trying to block out the negativity in your life, in the world, and using pro wrestling to kind of help you with that and move forward with that. So I mean, it was a great way to start the show. We have and of course the commentary team I loved. It was Dave Bradshaw and James R. Kennedy once again. And you know what? Kennedy is a great fit. Don't get me wrong, I love you, Alex Shane. Alex, I love you. You know I do. James R. Kennedy is incredible, though. Like, he really is. And I feel like, and I hear that Alex Shane's actually working elsewhere right now. Like, he's doing commentating somewhere else. So, you know, he's busy right now. But I love the fact that he got like 5 really incredible commentators with Stu Bennett, Dave Bradshaw, Alex Shane, Matt Stryker, and James R. Kennedy. And so I would love to see them kind of swap them out more and more as time goes on. I'd like to see different combinations there. But the combination of Bradshaw and Kennedy was incredible. I think they work really well together. No, just really good stuff right there. So like I said earlier, Blampied comes out. He does give, you know, the fight back speech, which he actually, that part is on their channel right now. Share that. Once again, that's another thing. Just share it. If you think you're sharing too much, you're probably not. Share it some more. I mean, just keep it going. But then, of course, he actually addresses something, too, that I was getting a lot of, because everybody was asking me if I've heard this or if I knew there was any truth to this. There was a rumor going around that WCPW was not paying their wrestlers. And it turns out it's not true. In fact, Joe Coffey even said that it wasn't WCPW. And I'm not sure. I don't want to say the promotion because I don't know if it's true or not. But there was another promotion that I guess apparently was considered kind of a bigger promotion, but it maybe wasn't. And a lot of wrestlers were upset about that. But everybody assumed it was WCPW, and that's not the case. Even though they're going through some financial problems right now with YouTube, they're still, you know, all the events set up, it's taken care of right now. So yeah, that was not the issue at all. So he wanted to, you know, make the comment about that, and so I'm glad kind of cleared things up as well. He introduces Prince of Bean. I'm not sure what Prince of Bean was going to do out here, but as Prince of Bean comes out, Shaw Samuels comes out and just beats the shit out of him, just brutally takes him down. Apparently they had some kind of Twitter feud. Apparently Shaw Samuels was kind of making reference to WCPW not paying him. Prince of Mean stepped in and said, hey, I got paid. I've been here since the beginning. I've been paid every single time. I don't have a problem with him. I know that Prince of Mean gets in a Twitter feud with somebody, it just ends badly for him. Like last time it was Brandy Rhodes, now it's Shaw Samuels. Like Prince of Mean, just go back to MySpace, actually. No one reads MySpace, so you can say whatever you want on there. No one's going to come after you. Anyway, so Shaw Samuels just beats the snot out of him. And then, of course, he gets in the ring and starts, you know, he goes, it was never about the money, it's the lack of respect that, you know, WCW, you know, shows its wrestlers, and just kind of goes on and on. And I was just kind of like, oh, it sounds like a prestige kind of speech right here. I don't know. I kind of, from hearing this, later on, there's something in the main event that I thought was going to come to play here. It never came to fruition, but I just thought, like, oh, that's kind of interesting that you use these kind of words. But anyways, yeah, he just kind of runs down WCPW. It's funny, he goes out there and he throws a mean, and he gets right in the, he hits a mean on the commentary table, and then he goes, like, into Bradshaw and, like, pushes him back, breaks his chair, and it's funny because Bradshaw was just like, you know, my chair's broken, and Kennedy's response was just classic. He's like, well, I'd give you mine, but I won't. And I was like, that's just great. Like, I don't know, I don't know, it put a smile on my face. But yeah, so we get started with the first official match. It's Viper with Bea Priestley in her corner going up against Kaylee Ray. And yeah, once again, Viper has been kind of you know, she's been the diesel role, if you will, for Bea Priestley's Shawn Michaels, kind of the bodyguard. And in fact, they already made a statement like, you know, no one's getting a shot at the title until they go through her first. And thus far, she's been undefeated. She has taken out every person that's, you know, stepped in her way. She has swatted them down. And so Kaylee, and she's already defeated Kaylee Ray once. I forget the event. I'm sorry, I got it written down over there, but I didn't don't have it over here. Anyway, but she fought her once before and she defeated her. So she's getting, you know, got another shot at her. Raw was about noticing that Bea Priestley was constantly interfering, and it seemed like Viper didn't like it. She was just kind of yelling, Priestley, stay back, you know, I got this. At one point, Kaylee Ray starts coming back in a big way, hits the Swanton, and you think she's got it. However, Bea Priestley pulls the referee out. I'm like, I just remember pulling a referee out used to result in a disqualification. I don't know. But she pulls the referee out, you know, knocks it down, gets in there with the belt, and she goes to swing it at Kaylee Ray. Kaylee ducks, and it hits Viper. Kaylee goes ahead and beats the crap out of Priestley, and then hits her with the Gory Special on top of Viper, and then pins both of them. Like on top, just piles them up. 1, 2, 3. Kaylee Ray defeats Viper, her first loss in WCPW, and you gotta kind of blame Bea Priestley on that one. Kaylee Ray wins and thus earns herself a shot at the women's title. So she's going to be fighting Bea Priestley at Built to Destroy. So love it, love it. So they remind us now, because once again, since Drew Galloway is, and I like the word Galloway better than McIntyre. I'm not going to call him Drew McIntyre. It's retarded. Drew Galloway's spot in the World Cup Finals has been vacant because, you know, he's in NXT now. So they went ahead and decided, you know, the two they're going to get is BT Gunn and Kenny Williams. And they're going to have a match at Built to Destroy. Winner will move on to represent Scotland in the World Cup Finals. So they just kind of, you know, show you that real quick. Well, they each have a match tonight. Up first is BT Gunn going against Mark Davis. Dude, Mark Davis had a ridiculously long wait for his entrance because he had like a cover version of Don't Stop Believing, the Journey song, and it was like that was just funny by itself. Dude, the crowd was into like every match, but it's just like he's waiting for like the chorus to kick in or something like that, and it just, you wait the entire time, and finally he pops out, and I was like, wow, really? This match was, you know, really good, hard fought match. Davis hits him with this sit down powerbomb, which it looked pretty brutal. Like, I was like, oh man, I think he just broke his neck, but luckily got up right there. Dude, there were some sick kicks. Like, dude, Gunn was laying in these sick kicks to Davis's head. I was like, oh my lands. Insane. The match ends when BT Gunn does like this kind of like twirling tornado. Or no, sorry, yeah, that was Kenny Williams. Gunn hit him with like a Sister Abigail looking DDT. Like, he gives him like Sister Abigail, but then he kind of turns him at the last second and like hits this, you know, awesome DDT right there. Not sure what he's calling that, but it looks really awesome. BT Gunn wins it right there. So, and then up next we got Aaron Echoes going up against Kenny Williams. Now, I always rank the matches, my favorite to my least favorite, 8. There's 8 matches to choose from here, and I hated doing it. This is another week where I think every match was solid. Like, every match was just a solid effort. Like, every match was enjoyable. I was not bored of a single match. But when you got them all written in front of you and you're rearranging them, unfortunately, one has to be number 8, and this was my 8th ranked match. It's not bad. It was a damn good match. Great showing from both. Aaron Echoes looked incredible in this match. But unfortunately, I got to pick my, I got to rank them. So, yes, Aaron Echoes, Kenny Williams. And this one, one of my favorite moments was Kenny Williams goes to skin the cat, and Echoes just boots him right off the thing. Beats him down for a little bit. Williams kept doing this thing where he rolls. Like, he'll throw him into the ring, and then he rolls all the way to the other side. And then he tries to get away, and then, of course, Aaron Echoes was a little slow, because it seemed like every time Williams would be ready to go over the barricade, he'd have to kind of wait on him, like, oh shit, he's not here yet, I'll wait. And then, of course, he gets caught, thrown back in the ring, then he'd roll to the other side. A great little bit, he finally suckers him in and takes him down. This is the one where Kenny Williams is like like he kind of wraps around him and does like a tornado DT, drops him. 1, 2, 3. Kenny Williams wins. So both guys, BT Gunn and Kenny Williams, are going into Built to Destroy with a victory apiece. So yeah, got a lot of momentum on both sides. BT Gunn comes out and just attacks Kenny Williams from behind, beats him down. So yeah. Setting it up, got some heat going into this next match, so I'm really glad about that. So moving on to the next match, we got the hardcore match, Drake versus Primate. Both. Well, I mean, I guess Kenny's no longer managing either. Like, is he just officially commentating now? Like, is that the new thing? I know he's no longer wrestling. I was jokingly making a comment on Twitter that I would love to see a tag team match with Drake and Kennedy going up against Primate and King Ross. And he hit me back pretty quickly on that one. He's like, oh, that ain't going to happen. I am retired now. And I was like, oh, all right, fair enough. Which will affect the top 10 later today, too. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, so Drake and Primate. Dude, Drake takes it to Primate early on. Like, he hits him with everything he possibly can. Frying pans and, oh my God, chairs and everything else. Just beats him completely down, but he couldn't stop Primate. Primate gets busted open like within the first 30 seconds of this match. My favorite little moment was Drake goes out there outside, and Drake is, anything he can try to find, he's hitting with it. He finally pulls out a stuffed little animal, like a little stuffed bear or stuffed, horse or whatever it was, and he's just like, ah. And Primate takes it, and he actually he's like, oh, it's a. And so as he's looking at it, Drake, blindsides him with a frying pan. It's like, that's just great, just good stuff right there. Midway through the match, Primate got a pretty nasty cut on his hand. You can tell it's bothering him because throughout the whole match he's kind of nursing his hand right there. So I'm not sure exactly what was going on with that right there. And then, sorry, I got my notes here, and they're all very sloppy handwriting because I'm horrible at writing things. One good moment in this match too was Drake. He did, his finisher is kind of like the code breaker. He usually hits it from like the top rope, and I know he has a name for it, but I can't remember what it was. But he also hits it just from the from the ground too, and he used it with the chair. And I was like, well, he's got it. Like, I mean, the mark inside me was just like, oh, he's got that. Like, no one's going to get up from a, the chair code breaker. Primate kicks out. And I was like, oh, my lands. Like, what are we going to do here? Drake goes to the top. I'm assuming he was going to go for the code breaker off top rope. Once again, if anybody knows the actual name of his finisher, I don't want to say code breaker if he's actually got a name for it. Let me know what the name is. Anyways, he goes for the code breaker off top rope, and Primate catches him with a spear, takes him down. 1, 2, 3. Over. Primate wins it. So, Primate wins, and of course, huge victory. Out comes Blampier, and he tells him, like, hey, I've noticed that, each week you're asking for a hardcore match, and each week you're dominating, so I think we ought to, bust out the new hardcore title. And yes, WCPW is getting a hardcore division, and there will be a hardcore title. And it looks really good, by the way. I really like the look of it, but Jack Sharp comes out, presents the title, and Built to Destroy, the match is going to be Primate versus Jimmy Havoc. Jimmy Havoc, which we haven't seen since the English qualifier, I believe. Or was it Scottish? I don't remember. One of the qualifiers. He hadn't seen him since the World Cup. Anyways, but they'll be battling out. It was the English qualifier. Sorry about that. English qualifier. Anyways, oh shit, what's this guy? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll move on. Let me know down in the comments. Yell at me in the comment section below. Scream. Big, bold caps. He is an English or Scottish and then there. But anyway, so that's going to be Built to Destroy, so I'm really pumped for that right there. Really cool that we're getting the hardcore division. Even though the women's and tag divisions are lacking at times, still a hardcore division excites me. I'm a big fan of the hardcore wrestling. Love it. And really, he's the perfect candidate for it. I mean, seriously, his best of 7 series, just the matches he's had in general throughout his career in WCPW. Yeah, I mean, who else are you going to put in there? So I thought that was really kind of cool right there. Up next is the Internet title match. WCPW Internet title match between Zach Gibson and Gabriel Kidd. And early on, Gibson's trash-talking Kidd, and then as they get kind of face-to-face, he just beats him down right there in the middle of the ring. Kind of the story they're telling here, this match is great. I mean, just a really good show of athleticism and great storytelling. The story here was they were injuring Gabriel Kidd's arm. I wrote the name down, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. The Shankly Gate, some kind of arm submission thing that Gibson was doing. Well, anyways, he kept attacking him and going for that. And of course, the whole time, Kidd's trying to fight out of that. Kidd, battles back. One of my favorite moments in this match, Kidd, as he's fighting back, he just starts hitting him. I starts clubbing away. He looks like Ralphie from the Christmas Story. I don't know if that reference will play over in the UK or not, but he just starts like beating the crap out of him, and then he just kind of wears himself out, and then goes right back to doing it again. I just start laughing. I was like, this is great. Like, that'd be me. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in a match, I have no wrestling skill. I'm just gonna be clubbing away like a madman. Hope it works. But dude, like Gibson does everything. He hits him with a I don't know if the Shankly Gate's the official finisher, or he did a move called the Ticket to Ride, and he hit that, and everybody's like, well, it's over there, and then Kidd kicked out. Kidd was kicking out everything. That's what I like about Kidd as a champion, and really just Kidd as a competitor. Because even back when he was doing his losing streak thing, he was putting on hell of a great matches, and he would take an enormous amount of punishment and still fight back. Like, he's not the strongest, and he's not the most dominant wrestler, but he's one of the toughest wrestlers. He can take a beating and keep coming back. So I really like that, story they're kind of telling right there. Eventually, though, Kidd hits him with a small package for like the 3rd or 4th time. Just a small package to win a match. It's his finisher. Forget he has a little kamikaze dive or the moonsault. No, his finisher is the small package. Took him to Small Package City. I love it. But no, he wins. Really good job. And I'm sure they didn't announce anything, but all the other titles are going to be defended at Built to Destroy, so I can only assume he's going to have somebody step up and challenge him at Built to Destroy as well. So I can't wait to see what that is, or who that is. Up next, the tag title gauntlet match to determine who the #1 contenders for the tag titles are. Busted it out. We start off with the Glaswegian Culture going up again. That was Luke King Sharp and Kid Fight going up against Moss and Slater, reuniting after a long time being apart. Of course, Moss was injured for a while, but he even made a return back at the No Regrets pay-per-view. But this is the first time we got back together as a unit. And yeah, they're dominant as always. This first match was really good right here. I really dug it. There's a moment where, I think it was Luke King Sharp goes for an enziguri, and Slater ducks it, and it hits Kid Fight, which I thought was just incredible. Love that kind of stuff. Luke King Sharp's like trying to throw punches at Slater, or sorry, not Slater, Moss. He just these little rapid fire punches, and it's not even affecting. Just really good stuff right there. At one point, dude, Liu King just walks away. He's like, I'm done. Like, literally, abandons his partner in the middle of the ring, just like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, we've literally lost this match. I know it. I don't want the embarrassment anymore. And dude, they finish him off. Moss puts him up. Kind of a doomsday device, but he's facing toward the turnbuckle, and Slater comes off with a flying crossbody. 1, 2, 3. The Glaswegian culture is now out of there. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I do like that they're putting team names on there. Like Moss and Slater, like, for what was they didn't have a team name for a while that they never actually put up on the graphic, and like no one ever called them that. I can't remember what it was, but they actually had a name there for a while, and then they were just like, it's Moss and Slater. But I'm glad that they gave Liu King Sharp and Kid Fight a name. Glaswegian culture, I love it. Love it. Next team come out was Kings of the North, new tag team. It's Bonesaw and Damian Corvin, and yeah, really good showing. But this portion of the gauntlet match was very brief. It felt like, and it was mostly just Moss and Slater just dominating for the most part. And then of course Moss ends up hitting. Sorry, I'm about to cheat real quick. Boom. Full Nelson Slam on Corvin. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, and then the fight back things in my mind. I have to write things down. If I don't, we'll give you guys misinformation. I won't do that. I'd much rather look like an incompetent fool up here than to actually give out incompetent advice or review. Anyways, hits him with the full Nelson Slam. 1, 2, 3. It's over. King of the North are out. Moss and Slater looking like the favorites right now. And then out next comes Polo Promotions, which is Mark Coffey and Jackie Polo. I got a big like brainbusters vibe from this team. Like, I don't know, they were just like a perfect tag team. And that's the thing too, because we've seen Mark Coffey wrestle several times in WCPW, a handful of times I guess I should say. He even teamed with his brother Joe at one point. And I've never been fully impressed. I mean, I respect every wrestler gets in there, so don't take that the wrong way. I respect the fact that he can wrestle and he wrestles good. But just as far as like being a standout person, like a wrestler himself, I'm just like, I'm not seeing him. Sorry, he's Coffey light in my opinion. But during the commentary, they always said he was a very accomplished tag team wrestler. In fact, during the Abachidi tag team tournament, they even made mention to that, like, you know, he's just, you know, incredible tag team wrestler, blah, blah, blah. And you wouldn't know it by watching the Coffeys wrestle, but I see Polo Promotions, and I'm like, yep, there it is. Like, that's it. That's him right there. Like, this is, I'm filming for the first time I'm actually seeing Mark Coffey wrestle. And it was a great match. Him and Moss and Slater went after the Polo Promotions, just beating the snot out of each other. It looks like at one point Moss has got it won. He ends up taking down Jackie Polo. However, Coffey pulls out the referee, and you're like, oh no, almost had it. As the referee is out there talking, once again, no DQ for that. You can drag a referee around all you want nowadays, but you know, back in my day, that'd earn you a DQ. But as the referee's admonishing Coffey outside, Jackie Polo hits a low blow, a roll-up. Referee goes in there, and then as he's doing the roll-up, he's got his feet on the ropes, like literally just dastardly. He just low blow, roll up with the foot on the ropes. Come on, that's evil. But the only thing he could have done more just to make it like a trifecta of evil was like to hold the tights while he's doing it. Anyways, Polo Promotions defeat Moss and Slater, sends them packing, and the final team comes out. It's Prospect. It's Prospect. Once again, you know, this is the final run for Prospect, you know, before Archer goes under surgery. He never quite said he was done with wrestling, but it'll take him out for over a year, he did say. And so, you know, this is their last run, which I still think, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Prospect fan. And I was rooting for him this entire time. Like, even if they would have came out #1, it would have been pretty odd, like they're probably not going to win. I still been rooting for him. I still find this storyline so odd because it's just like he's clearly in pain and doesn't want to be out there, and Gracie's just like, no, we're going to do one last run. Get over here. Let's do it. It just seems so odd to me. And I don't know. I'm just really curious to see how this is going to go. I have an idea how this story could end. I don't know. In my mind, here's how I kind of see it ending. I don't want to see this end. No, I'm not going to say that. Okay. There's a dark way this can end, and I don't want it to end this way. I'm just saying, Gracie, you shouldn't be dragging Archer along. Because I'll tell you, I don't see them win the tag titles. I would love to see them win the tag titles. Or if they do win the tag titles, maybe Archer will just be like, I forfeit now, or what. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems very odd. But once again, this match was mostly Polo Promotions just beating the snot out Archer. Like, literally, that was the story of that match, was just them working over his knee the entire time. Eventually, Gracie gets in there, and yeah, I think they get a small package in that match too. It was a small package, dude. Small package city. He hits Mark Coffey with a small package, rolls him up 1, 2, 3. Prospect wins. After the match, Polo Promotions just beat him down right in the middle of the ring, and then that brings out Moss and Slater to help Prospect out. Which I'm guessing, it's not official yet, they haven't said anything, but I'm saying this will probably lead to a tag match between Polo Promotions and Moss and Slater, because Prospect's going to get a shot at Swords of Essex at Built to Destroy, and so I can only assume, and I would love to see Moss and Slater versus Polo Promotions. Now, fresh teams, not just Moss and Slater after fighting, 2 teams already. Now they're going to have to go against, them solo or, on the same playing field. So I would love to see that, and I want to see more out of Polo Promotions. And I want to see more out of the Kings of the North. Like, I'm glad this kind of gave a rejuvenation to the tag division in WCPW. The, might I say, stale tag division in WCPW. So I was really glad to see, this going on right here. So, but yeah, Prospect wins it. So yeah, they will get their shot to tag titles. Up next, it's a fatal 4-way to determine the #1 contender for the WCPW World Title. We got El Ligero, Dave Mastiff, Rampage, and Joe Coffey. This match to me felt very much like a tag match. Like, even though it does break down toward the end, early on, it was just heels versus faces. Like, the entire match was heel versus faces. Initially, I was yelling at El Ligero on Twitter. I was like, you need to get serious. Like, he's in there trying to, like, beat up the 2 big guys. Like, he's the smallest guy, and I get, like, he's going... But I'm like, dude, you don't go toe-to-toe when you're a small guy. Like, I don't care how much heart you have. You got to, like, do your high-flying stuff on these guys. He was just trying to go toe-to-toe with these guys. And I was like, oh, this is why you're getting the travel lodge cards shoved in your mouth, because you're goofing around. And then, like, he would, like, do a couple moves, and he would give the thumbs up. And I'm like, Ligero, stop goofing off. He's wearing his pants, though. That was one thing I was talking to with a good girl Stray, where it's like, he's, his pants is goofy Ligero, and then his trunks are serious Ligero. Unfortunately, apparently, even though I know his tape the day before, kayfabe, he must have read my Twitter, because he was just like, I'm going to get serious at the end, I guess. I'm going to get serious here later on. Anyways, but yeah, it didn't work out good for him in his Fatal 4-Way, because he's eventually the one who gets pinned. Rampage hits him with the pile driver. 1, 2, 3. Rampage, #1 contender for WCPW title, taking on the champion at Built to Destroy. Which leads us now to the main event. It's a last man standing match, and if the Prestige interfere at all, or even come down to ringside, the match is thrown out, and the title goes to Martin Kirby. The match is Joe Hendry versus Martin Kirby. Kirby gets out there first. Huge pop. My God, like, this guy is still just as popular as he was, when Kirby Mania first started. I mean, come on. And then out comes Hendry. Killer promo starting off. I love the shushing. Seriously, the shushing is just, and I love it when the crowd's actually, past 2 times he's done it, the crowd was very polite and was just like, yeah, we'll be quiet. You got the mic. We'll let you talk. But here they weren't going to give it to him at all. I loved it. He comes out there and he talks about how it wasn't fair that, Prestige is not allowed to interfere. So he quickly calls out, he wants to put a bounty on his head. And, anybody comes out to collect this bounty, guess what? Not only will you, help him, regain his spot, you will get yourself a spot in the Prestige. And of course, as this is going down now, Blampier comes out, and of course, I think, Dave Mastiff comes out, and of course comes out there and he's like, is he going to be the one that take it? And of course, Blampier stops it, and of course he's like, nope, we're not having this. And then of course, out comes Rampage, Primate, and El Ligero. However, I think I skipped that part. Sorry, a lot was happening in this match. It was insane. Before that, BT Gunn and Joe Coffey come out through the crowd and attack Kirby. Now, here's the deal. Until Hendry enters that ring, the bell won't start. Match hasn't started yet, so the Prestige can interfere all they want starting off. So, of course, here you got Dave Mastiff, BT Gunn, and Joe Coffey just beating the snot out of poor Martin Kirby. Blampier comes out, sends in the troops, and then out comes Rampage, El Ligero, and Primate. So we evens it up a little bit. Once again, Hendry staying outside, not getting in the ring. Kirby's getting beat down brutally. The fight spills outside, and eventually Hendry even gets involved in it, so it's like a 4-on-3 with Kirby still laid out in the ring. Kirby gets up and just cannonballs himself off the top rope onto everybody on the floor. Incredible spot. The fights all go back in the back, but it leaves Kirby and Hendry. It finally gets itself into the ring. So last man standing rules here. At one point, and the whole thing was just like Hendry was aiming for the head. Each time, going for the head. Wrapped his neck into the chair, into the steel post, attacking the head. One thing I really love about this part, and it just showed great psychology from Hendry, would be, because, you know, when you're laid out, the count starts. But you have to be, you know, the only way to break the count is you have to be on your feet. And it's just great because whenever Hendry would have Kirby laid out and the referee's counting, you can see Hendry like duck down, like he's getting his breath. He's off his feet clearly, and he's getting himself some rest. And then every time the referee turned back around, he'd step up on his feet. I love that. Just a little thing like that. It's just like, it's what makes Hendry such a great wrestler. Once again, I've always respected him as a wrestler. Always hated the character until he went heel. And now he's like one of the best things that WCPW has. He's great. The prestigious one is way better than the local hero. I don't care. You guys can love his goofy music. We all know who the true standout is. It's the prestigious one. So anyways, so this match, you know, gets insane. I'm hitting my notes real quick because I don't want to go out of sequence here because there's a lot that happened in this match right here. And then eventually what happens is Kirby accidentally, he goes for a super kick on Hendry. Hendry grabs the referee in the way. Referee takes the kick. So then out comes Coffee and Rampage are still fighting. Now once again, had the referee been awake, he could have thrown the match out right there and awarded the title to Kirby. So they start battling. Coffee gets taken out. Rampage is in the ring, and dude, he attacks Hendry because there's nothing against that. That's legal. That's as legal as a wrist lock right there. He hits Joe Hendry with the pile driver. Referee finally comes through as the two battle off, and of course now we're just left with Kirby and Kirby and Hendry. Hendry's laid out, and referee picks up his count. One of my favorite moments of this match. He goes, 8, 9. Hendry rolls out of the ring, but he lands on his feet. That's brilliant! Even though he's still out of it. He lands on his feet just long enough to break the count, and then he goes into the guardrail and goes down again, but he's still kind of propped up. Just enough to break the count. Once again, this is one of the better last man standing matches I've ever seen. Like, just the psychology in this thing was great. I loved it. Yeah, just thought it was brilliant. Just thought it was brilliant. So, at this point now, Kirby is just getting pissed, and he starts bringing in the chairs. He brings out, I was trying to keep track myself, and I know I lost track. I know at least 40 chairs in that ring. And there's probably more. I mean, it's easily more. But as far as I was keeping track, I got to 40. But once again, there was times where he was like throwing like 4 at a time, and I was just like, oh shit, how many was that? I lost count. But I got to 40 at least. So 40 chairs minimum in the ring right now. They didn't come to play as much as I would have liked. I would have figured someone would get powerbombed onto like the stack of chairs, or maybe the freaking nature onto the stack of chairs, and we didn't see a whole lot of that. We did see at one point Kirby goes to the top rope, and as he's going to hit Hendry on the floor, Hendry comes up real quick and knocks Kirby into the stack. But then of course after that, you basically just you get to see individual chair shots with the chairs. At one point, headshot with the chair, which we don't see very often in pro wrestling in general at all. And then of course, we got Hendry slamming Kirby onto a folding chair. Of course, it flattens it right out. Then El Ligero and Dave Mastiff are battling back out there. And of course, Ligero kind of takes control. Kirby gets up. He ends up hitting the Sable Bomb on Hendry. But the referee is now distracted by everybody outside. Breaks the count there. Which I was kind of like, come on. Start counting. Keep counting. You don't break the count. Unless someone interferes with your count, you don't. But he stops the count. And of course, as Ligero is kind of getting the better of Mastiff for a time, he gets a chair. Kind of holds Mastiff at bay. He gets in the ring. Ligero gets in the ring. His back is to Kirby. He's holding the chair. And right there, I was like, oh, damn it. No. And sure enough, Ligero turns around and just blasts Kirby. And I was like, ah, come on. I want you to get serious, not that serious. Hits Kirby, takes him down, and guess what? It's over. He hits him with this C4L too, or CL4. C4L, I forget what, C4L. Hits him with the DT, springboard DT. Guess what? 10 count. Kirby loses. Hendry retains the title. And guess what? Ligero was not a member of Prestige. Neither was Mastiff, who's outside. So guess what? Bounty collected. El Ligero joins Prestige. He's a member. He's a full-fledged member, T-shirt and all. Oh my gosh. I was shocked. I was shocked. And even though when he was in the ring, I'm like, oh, he's going to do it. It didn't lessen the blow. I didn't put my hands up for that chair shot. No, I took it right in the face. Oh my, but it makes sense. It makes sense because people are just like, what? No, because A, Look at their history. Ligero and Kirby's history, for one. It dates back to 1 year ago. In fact, me and Good Girl Stray was talking about this before, that, you know, these guys, in fact, she even said she wanted to see another Kirby Ligero matchup Built to Destroy, kind of like a 1 year anniversary with, you know, some kind of goofy stipulation, you know, bring the dress back or whatever. But it's like they've been battling since then. Now, granted, they've both been faces later on. They still have a love-hate relationship. They're still kind of like, you know, whenever there's a chance to fight each other, like we saw in the Battle Royal, or the Rumble, for Championship Rumble at the No Regret, they will still take a shot, you know, to still fight each other. I mean, they're not friends by any means. There's still that uneasiness between the two. So it makes sense. Not just that, Ligero has been on the most ridiculous losing streak since losing his internet title way back when. So that's another thing, is that and once again, he's been too goofy, and we've all been on him for like, you need to get serious, you need to quit goofing around. And of course, we've seen the mean streak come out when he fought Rey Mysterio at the Mexican qualifier, when he fought, I'm blanking on some matches here, but in matches, he's taken more of a dirtier edge, like he's being, you know, more of a heel tendencies. However, he hasn't really gone full-fledged. This to me makes sense from a storytelling perspective. It's not just a swerve for the sake of being a swerve. No, it's a man who's frustrated with losing against a guy who he probably doesn't like a whole lot anyway. So it just makes sense that these guys would, or that Ligero would turn on Kirby. Setting up, once again, keeps the title on Hendry. Kirby is still chasing the title. He's not, and once again, let's not forget, he still has that Magnificent 7 title match he can cash in, because all the matches he's been having was just given to him. He didn't cash it in. He didn't say, this is me turning in the contract, give him my title match. No, he's earned every one of these shots. Or it was awarded to him because of some wrongdoing in the match. Either way, he still has that in his back pocket. So he's not out of the title picture at all. But now he's being detoured by Ligero. And now that we're going to get a Kirby-Ligero match, I'm super excited. And I'm sure it's going to be Built to Destroy. Like, why wouldn't it be, right? No, can't wait. This is going to be just epic. And, of course, we got to remember the Prestige. And right now, Prestige is killing it. I really wish they would acknowledge the members who aren't there, because Travis Banks just won a huge tournament, like a strong style tournament, this past week, I think, or maybe the week before. Anyways, I mean, that's bragging rights. So, like, why wouldn't the Prestige be harping on that? And I can understand why Hendry himself wouldn't be, because let's face it, at the end of the day, it's all about Hendry. It's always been all about Hendry. But still, yeah, you'd want to be like, hey, the Prestige, this is what we're doing. We're not just dominating here, we're dominating worldwide, baby, and they can do that. But either way, Ligero's there. I'm loving it. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great event. It really was. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, if you happen to miss it, and I'm not, you know, once again, I get nothing for shelling out here, but if you don't have What Culture Extra, this is the time to get it. Like, if anything else, because if this is a trend of things to come. If we're going to start getting wrestling taken off our channels now, then, you know, you might as well sign up. Once again, you know, World Cup makes you wonder if it's going to even be on the YouTube or not, because, well, let's face it, it's, you know, will it be deemed spam or whatever? I don't know. I don't know. Right now, it's an uncertain time. But if WCPW has taught us anything in the past, that, you know, even when it looks like it's down or it loses a big crop of wrestlers, it fights back. No pun intended. It fights back. It keeps working forward. So, yeah, that's all I got. Guys, I apologize. I'm looking at the time right now. Wow, we're like getting close to 50 minutes, and I apologize for that. But a lot to say in this episode. There's a lot to say. So anybody stuck around this long, your trophy is in the mail. I'm mailing those out right now. So, guys, let me know what you thought about Fight Back in the comment section below. Some of your favorite moments, your least favorite moments. Was you as shocked as me when Ligero turned on Kirby? Yeah, it was just an incredible night. Built to Destroy coming up. I'm loving it. I can't wait for that. Still got some World Cup qualifying legs coming our way. So once again, we got a lot of action coming our way. And the loss of Loaded hasn't stopped the quality of wrestling. You know, don't get me wrong, I would love to have Loaded in between here, but they're doing a good job of setting up the next pay-per-view within each event. So, I mean, once again, they're doing what they can with what they got, and it's working good so far. So, that's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't already. Keep up the good fight. Hashtag Fight Back, guys. And then, of course, don't forget to show this video that... Oh, where's it at? Where's it at? It's over here now. Oh, thumb and love. And, yeah. my Instagram, my Twitter, and my Facebook is all down below. I'm constantly doing different things on each of those, so check it out. And it's all I got, guys. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time.